Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Welcome to the range, boys and girls. I'm doing a practice session today for a class that's coming up this weekend with Personal Survival Solutions. I believe it's a Saturday, Sunday, and I forgot to look, but it is Scout Marksman and Intermediate Range, I believe. I apologize, Shane and Callie. I should have done a better job of looking. I'll put them on the screen. So anyways, I love training with Shane and Callie. They know how to run training. Personal Survival Solutions is the training company that you can take your loved ones, specifically your females, drop them off, wave bye-bye, and leave them be. They're going to be perfectly fine in that class. They're going to be loved, they're going to be cared for, they're going to be loved through the process of learning, and when you pick them up that afternoon, they're going to be like, oh, what if that happened? Because it is that level of excitement and training and careful focus on meeting the needs of the student. I routinely go out to Personal Survival Solutions because I'm a firm believer in routine tune-ups on your skills. And it's been a hot minute since I've gone to a rifle class. And so, I'm out here to run the Tier 1 Citizen Rifle Drills Standards, which, by the way, are free on my website for download on the training section, and you can just download handguns, the handgun drills, the rifle drills, the different audio files that are there, and the different videos that go with everything to explain how things work. But anyways, let's get to it. Alright, first one is gonna be ready position, fire one shot. Par of 1 second. Basically, ready position is either like this or like this, whichever floats your boat, don't care. Excuse me, I prefer this one, and here's why. From this position, I'm watching this, I'm shooting on the rubber dummy. I'm watching this bad guy, and basically, if I can visualize, let's turn that down a little bit. If I can visualize his feet touching the floor, I can, touching the ground, I can visualize his entire body. I'm looking for demeanor, stance, hands. Is he a threat? Is he not a threat? We're at 10 yards, so I have a fair amount of level of control over him with a long gun. If this guy makes a move in my direction, I can fill him with lead very rapidly and accurately with this gun. I can start taking chunks out of joints. I can center punch the guy if I have to completely switch him off. Remember guys, the body's comprised of timers and switches. You hit enough timers, you throw a switch. If you hit a switch, that person's done permanently. I prefer to hit timers rather than switches, because if I can hit timers, I can slow you down, I can render aid if I need to, and I can change your behavior rather than having to take your life. But I train for both. All right, ready position, fire one shot. 1 second. Center punch, 0.87. Desired of 0.95, required of 1.0. Let's do it again. Center punch, 0.96. All right, ready position, fire 4 shots, 2 seconds. Desired of 1.95 and required of 2 seconds flat. Ugh. Safety. I have to begin here to work the safety to bring the gun up. If I'm trying to work the safety here, I have to sweep it that way. Actually, this bears noting. Because it's been such a long time since I've done dedicated rifle work, I'm doing this. This set of tasks that are required to do for this are the things that if you know the techniques that go with, it slows you down and it reminds you work the process. If you don't understand what the technique is, guys, you can download this all day long and you can work this and you can make your times, but if you don't know the why behind this, you're doing yourself a disservice. Guys, get out the training. .189, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and I should probably tell you this. Essentially what I'm after is just keeping everything inside of that cardboard, because that cardboard is center of mass. And if I'm hitting this guy inside of that cardboard, I'm hitting him where it really counts. That's heart, pericardium, aorta, lungs, diaphragm. You hit somebody in that area, you are at the very least dramatically stopping them, or dramatically slowing them down, and or stopping them, and potentially ending them. So keeping all your shots there, good to go. Ready position, fire 4 shots. Let's do it again. I almost made the, no, I did make the desired time. 189, and the desired was 195. $190. Hanging, fire 1 shot. All right, hanging means ejection port cover closed, the weapon hanging either here or here, don't care which, make yourself happy. What it doesn't mean is this. You know, it doesn't mean this. It means casual. It means, when I used to be a cop, I used to stand like John Wayne, which was quite literally this. I did this all the time. I leaned into my body armor, because it's actually relaxing. You lean into your body armor, and I would place my thumb across the back strap of my gun, and I would just stand like this when I would talk with people all the time. The people in my town got used to me standing like that. It was just perfectly normal. But the point is, you're not standing like this. You're standing casual, relaxed. You're having a conversation with someone, and something breaks. Hanging, fire 1 shot. 2 seconds. A little bit low, but center. 182. Required of 160. Required. I'm sorry. Desired 160. Required 20. A little bit left. A little bit low. 152. Let's tape that up. These rubber dummies are a great training tool because they allow you to work rifle from very close without the risk of this stuff kicking back at you. And while it's not really a problem if you're on an oblique, if I were shooting this target like this, it wouldn't be a problem, but look at what's being exposed. I'm exposing the hardware on the back. So if I take my shot with a long gun and I miss and I chip the edge of this, this is all hardened steel. This is just mild steel. And I would ruin this. These are very expensive. The whole thing is expensive, but I would ruin that. So the further I move this way, now I've got nothing but armored steel, but now I'm getting way too close to center line and I can damage that target, or I can just work off a rubber dummy. See, there is a method to what I do. There's a why to everything I do. All right, on target, empty chamber, tap, rack, bang. On target, empty chamber, tap, rack, bang. What that's simulating is, you seated your mag, and you just forgot to rack it. So the solution to that is, you get a click, you immediately tap, run the bolt, get back on the gun, fire your shot. And by the way, guys, loading is push, pull. Watch this muscle group right here. See? You're going to see the rifle go like this. When you watch a person load a gun properly, the rifle is just going to do the slightest little hiccup. What you don't want to be is the guy who places the mag and goes, whack, whack, because that's how you crack Phillips on a magazine. So it's control the rifle into the pocket of the shoulder, load the magazine AK style. The reason for that is, if your round ends up like this, which is a problem with nylon carriers, you can end up with a round walking forward. Well, that round isn't going in, or the mag isn't going in, but if you load it AK style, and that was a push-pull, you've actually seated that round. So the mag goes in, push-pull, and now you know that that mag is there, locked in. And by the way, guys, when you're working with your kit, every once in a while, if you're leaning on that gun, it's not going to do it. It did it earlier while I was out here just working around. The magazine caught the mag release and the mag hit the floor. No big deal. It happens, guys. When you're wearing all this junk, it happens. So even that little tap, that's basically a push-pull. All right, on target, empty chamber, tap, rack, bang, and 240. Here we go. On target, empty chamber, tap. Okay, on target means you are on that target. So you are actually safety off, slack taken out, dead center on this target. slightly off. 249. Do it again. I'm hard on myself, and I'm so out of practice with rifle that I need to remind myself that it is rough sight picture on this guy. Remember what my holdovers are, and just take the shot quickly. Right between the pecs, 213. Let's do it again. So definitely made desired of 220 and required of 240. So that's good. So let's do it again. 244. Kind of slow today. All right, let's move on. On target, fire one shot, emergency reload, fire one shot. Okay, on target, fire one shot, emergency reload, fire one shot. It's exactly what it sounds like. Put an empty mag in the gun, get an empty mag, stick it in the gun. I've got one in the chamber. On target, fire one shot, emergency reload. So my emergency reload comes from my SNSR. This is a rig that I designed many years ago. It's called the shoot and scoot rig. That's the rough industry name we gave it. It actually stands for sympathetic nervous system rig. If you make kydex, let's talk, because I want to make this again. So that's on target, safety off, finger on trigger, slack taken out. The buzzer sounds, you fire, drop your mag. For me, as a lefty with the Norgon ambi catch, the mag goes out and I keep the gun. You want to keep the gun horizontal. You don't want to try to eject the mag while doing this, because then you end up being the guy who's doing that thing. That was great. I almost grabbed the shot timer. I'm leaving these in, guys. It has been a minute. Man, it's been a minute since I've been working with rifle. Wow. That was 391. It's supposed to be a minimum of 3 flat, or I'm sorry, desired time of 3 flat, minimum required of 325. And that is what is known as garbage. .333. Tu madre. It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it? Gonna be one of those days. All right, all right. Now it's getting personal. That's right. That's right. 280. On target, fire one shot, emergency reload, fire one shot. Desired of 3, which I made 280. So let's do it again. Because you know how that goes. Once is luck, twice is skill. Ha! 277. That's good. A little bit of desire, right? All right, on target, stovepipe, pull trigger, clear rifle, fire one shot. 3 flat. If you've got big hands like I do, this is not that hard. If you have itty bitty hands, this is hard. All right, so 3 flat. This is how this goes. On target, stovepipe, pull trigger, clear rifle, fire one shot. So you grab an empty casing. You stick the empty casing in the chamber, or in the ejection port, like that. And then take your loaded mag. Oop. Stick it in, push, pull, and you're ready to go. On target, stovepipe, pull trigger, clear the rifle, fire one shot. The way you clear the rifle is, for me as a lefty, pull the trigger, I get that. My vision goes from there to here. For me, I'm left eye dominant, but my right eye can see the gun. So now I know what I've got. If it were darkness, I could go like that, and I could feel what I've got. At that point, it is tap, run the bolt, and let gravity do its job. So it means orienting the gun. If you're a righty, it means click, roll, I have a problem, roll the gun, tap it, rack it, you gotta wait a second. So it isn't whack, 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 because remember, there's a mag in there. All you're going to do is create a problem. So it's tap, rack, wait a moment, let it drop, release, back on the gun. No, remember, your safety can't move. You just pulled the trigger. So safety is irrelevant. To find my landmarks again. So that was 281, Ricard of 30, Desired of 260. Let's do that again. You know, I came out here earlier today and I was really stiff, moving around in the sunshine and fresh air, doing something I love and sharing knowledge with you guys. Puts a smile in my heart and it just limbers me up. Thanks for being here. .250. Okay, this is a good teaching point. One of the things that you can do for yourself is not have to go back to 12 and 6. When you go tap, rack to clear the gun, fire your shot from this angle. Don't worry about going back. Just fire your shot from this, because from this angle, it doesn't matter. From this angle, I'm still going to hit the guy. In fact, got a target over there. I'm going to turn this sucker sideways. Headshot. And we are at 30 yards from this guy, probably a little bit more. And I turned the gun sideways to hit him. It's not that big a deal. It's a teaching point for you guys. On target, double feed. Oh, I hate this one. Oh, I hate this one. I'm going to do it one time, and I'm going to show you why. I only do this drill one time because it really it boogers up rounds. What you do, people teach this wrong. They tell you to put a live round in the chamber. That's not what you're after. Okay, this is the double feed. And the double feed, whether it be handgun or rifle, occurs when your extractor is fatigued and or, especially with rifle, the round is high pressure. Out of spec round, out of spec rim, fatigued extractor, fatigued detent spring, blah, 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 blah. The point is, the extractor has come off of this, of the rim of the casing. This is the chamber, okay? So the casing is in the chamber, and the extractor has come off. The bolt carrier, because the extractor is part of the bolt carrier group has now traveled to the rear, and as it comes back home, it pushes the next round up onto the feed ramps and tries to get the next round into the chamber. So now you have a round locking your magazine and keeping it from falling free. It's also keeping this from coming out, and the more you whack and rack, you're just creating a bigger and bigger problem. And you can end up doing what's called bolt override, which is a round and or a casing getting up inside of that little cutout recess of your charging handle, and then you're boogered. So you better know how to get that one out. That's not what we're doing today. So this particular drill goes like this. Gun gets locked to the rear, empty casing gets dropped in the chamber. Live ammo is put in the gun, and the bolt carrier group is ridden. And now you have a live round trying to get inside of the chamber, and it can't because the casing is in its way. The way you clear this is like you're clearing a failure to feed or no round in the chamber. The first thing you have to do is tap, rack, and when you get to about, oh man, there's something in my eye. So it's tap, rack, and when you get to about here, you feel a tick-tock, tick-tock, instead of the crunch and grind that you get when you do this normally. So you know there's something wrong here because your bolt carrier group isn't riding all the way forward, and all of a sudden your charging handle goes mushy halfway in travel. So the fix for this is a forceful extraction of the magazine. Store the magazine, hold the gun, and either run it this way. I actually tend to do it with my shooting hand because I'm holding the magazine. I'm holding the magazine here. So I don't really care how you do this, guys. I do not care how you do this. Make it work for me. But you've got to get the gun up, otherwise it's transition. But transition is not an option in what we're doing right now. It's about getting this gun up and running. So let me just run it for you, and I'll show you how it works. and this is in 7.75. And I only like to do this once because it boogers up ammo. Here we go. On target, double feed, pull trigger, clear rifle, fire one shot. There we go, there we go. And this is why I don't like doing this. See that right there? The live round actually pinched up into the M4 feed ramp and pinched up on the edge of the, yeah, it's still stuck in there. Look, still in there. And you saw me work that twice. Now watch what happens. At that point, you can either go this way or you can go this way, but your hand goes up in and the round comes out. Then let me get back in the gun. So the bolt goes home. There goes your casing. Run it again. Because remember, this technique has to work for darkness and you're not always going to see and or hear stuff coming out. Then it's in, pull, charging handle, fire. Check out how boogered up that round is. Also, the round has now been compressed. See how the round has now been pushed in and seated deeper? So now you're talking about an out-of-spec round that can damage a rifle. So I'll do it one more time because I like you guys. This is going to be my top round. This is going to be my sacrificial. I know that yes, you can do this with dummy rounds, but I'm trying to do training techniques for you guys that don't require specialized equipment, and training rounds are specialized equipment. If you want to do training rounds, absolutely. But remember, training rounds can also be boogered up too. Oh, I did it again. Hung back up again. Okay, you know, let me just finish it. And that was 1658. There's a reason I do not like this drill. First of all, it is an almost impossibility. Well, it's not an impossibility, because there's so many crap hole AR-15s on the market nowadays. There's something in my eye, guys. There's so many crap hole AR-15s on the market, and so much trash ammo everywhere that yeah, this could potentially happen. The chances of it happening are few and far between, but it is an eventuality, so you should know. It's not a drill that I focus on heavily, constantly, at least for me, because I run quality weapons that I build and run quality mil-spec M193 ammunition. It's not something that I worry about. And also, I don't do it because it boogers up rounds. So, you know, it's you don't want to be blowing through money if you can avoid it. So, this is a training. This is a series of drills that are really good for working your hands, finding familiarity, commonplace positions on the gun. A lot of running an AR-15 is just knowing where your hands are supposed to be at any given moment in time, depending on what it is that you're doing. And this set of tasks is ideal for that because it covers all the different things. Obviously, it's done from a static position. You can then modify this if you want and add movement to it. Don't really care. Take it and make it your own. That's why I have it on my website for free. Guys, I invested considerable time and ammunition to write these standards. These standards, the handgun standards, are nothing but Dave Spalding's handgun standards. And I ran this past Dave Spalding when I went to the legacy class, his final class. And I showed him these standards, and he studied them. And he said, your times are solid. He knew what he was looking at because he knows how to look at a task, a desired time and a required time, and know if I'm working the numbers properly. The reason these numbers are what they are is this column is for the advanced, intermediate to advanced shooter, and this column is for the intermediate shooter. Beginners have no business doing this stuff. Beginners need to have some basic solid training before they attempt this. But intermediate to advanced is covered on that one card. And you guys will notice on the website I gave you the small card and then I gave you the full sheet. This is nothing but a plastic clipboard from Walmart, $1.25 I think it was, and I just jigsawed a piece of it out, sanded the edges, and just taped this and this so that it's always viewed like this, always being flipped, so that I'm not having to spin it and then rotate it. It's always going to be easily viewed by just flipping it forward. That's what I got for you guys. I thank you guys for your support. I thank you for your sling purchases, for your Protac purchases, for your sticker purchases. Thank you for supporting Tier 1 Citizen. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out in practice. Have a good one.